Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with a review of Rise of the Black Panther #1. This is the origin of the Black Panther. Kind of. Now, I understand what it really is. It's the origin of T'Challa. And man, it takes you back. I made a joke in a review. You'll see it on the Marvel vs. DC. And I'm going to tell it here, so I don't know why I told you that. But I mentioned that Batman was the origin of Bruce Wayne, so what we're going to get is 22 pages of Martha and Tom banging. I didn't think that they would take me serious when it comes to the origin of the Black Panther, or, as I said, T'Challa. Because this thing takes you to the point where his dad is meeting his mom, and he's like, hey, I think you'd be cool to be my wife. You should come on over, you know. Oh, yeah, and yes, it does start with Captain America going to Wakanda. Dang, I should remember that. I just read this book. And to get the vibranium. Okay, that's not the rise of the Black Panther, however. But, like I said, then it cuts to, and it starts to tell the story of how T'Chaka marries his wife. And, of course, she's like, hey, I'm pregnant. Okay, now we get T'Challa. That is weird. This is the rise of the Black Panther. That's what it says on the cover even. It's the rise of the Black Panther. So why aren't we learning about the history and the mythology of Wakanda? That's where I thought the story would be. I mean, it makes sense because we hear that, oh, the kings of Wakanda have been the Black Panther for generations and generations. Well, let's see that. I mean, there is literally a rich history that they could tap into that they didn't. And what we end up with instead is really kind of a dull story of people we don't understand who they are. And, I mean, of course, by the end, we're going to get a really good account of who they are, but it just, I don't know. It seemed very soap opera-ish when I think it could have been epic. And I think they dropped the ball on this, and that seems to be really the only problem. And I understand I'm right now kind of reviewing the book that it isn't rather than reviewing the book that it is, and that's never really a good thing. But judging by the fact that you said it's the rise of the Black Panther, and we hear it really could have done that, and I think it could have opened up the history of Wakanda a little bit. And yeah, the story's been told in other issues, but heck, we get a million origins of Superman. We've gotten the same thing with Spider-Man. Why not do a modern retelling of how the Black Panther started in Wakanda? Because that in itself would be very interesting and an interesting way to get new readers to want to read more about the Black Panther. Now, what about the book that we did get? Okay, like I said, there is a big lull. The romance between T'Chaka and his queen is boring. It was. She was like, hey, I'm a scientist and people hate me. But we really don't see her trying to open up to the people around her. And this is in the palace. When they go out to the people, she loves them. She loves the commoners. It's even mentioned, hey, you don't call them the commoners. No, she doesn't. But she sure does treat the people in the palace like crap, doesn't she? I mean, she's not talking to them, but she expects everybody to bow and... Well, she's the queen. What you going to do? But point being is she goes in expecting to be an outsider and then does nothing to change the fact that she is an outsider. And we're supposed to feel bad for her for that. And it just doesn't happen. Another aspect they point out is the fact that Wakanda has been hidden. And this is something interesting. We do see how Wakanda becomes known to the world. We see how the defenses fall and people can now find it. And I thought that was an interesting way to look at things. It was something to see. Overall, it's an okay book, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. But this particular issue doesn't really lead to really wanting to find out. I know that's kind of, and maybe that's a problem. That's kind of a contradictory thing to say, but this is kind of a contradictory book. We're the Rise of the Black Panther, not really just this one. It's an interesting book, but not really all that exciting. And that's the whole problem with this. It just doesn't seem to know where it wants to go or what it wants to be. It's got some decent scenes in it. We have one scene with Hydra coming in, and this scene right here, where Claw attacks, and we see how Claw loses his arm, and we know what's going to happen next. He attaches the sound thing, but we see basically the attack that kills his father. It's a very interesting book without actually being really all that good, and that is something that really probably took a lot of work to do. But that's just my opinion. What is yours? Have you read The Rise of the Black Panther? Are you interested in it? If you have read it, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Or did you like me going, well, there's some good parts on it, but really, it isn't what you said it was, and what it is a mixed bag at best. That was my opinion, just wrapped up in 5 seconds. I could have done a 5-second video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, click like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Even if you are already subscribed and you found this video, do it again, because YouTube's messed up and some people aren't getting notified. Alrighty, also, this is the way we make our living, so if you don't mind, head on over to Patreon, drop $1 in the till. Helps keep the lights on, helps keep making videos like this. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.